they should have done a song for the men who are single. Because, I mean, we don't talk about them much, but then they are those ones that we are looking for. So who's talking about them? So this conversation is for us, akina sisi, singles, not married yet. How men and women combine, what are the key points to look out for? What are the key things to look out for when you're filtering who you want to settle with? Anakuongelesha vipi? Huyo mwanadada yuko vipi? You know, just looking at these people and filtering them to know what their motives are. Are they for good, for selfishness, for wanting you for real, for real, for real? Ama they're playing you for real, for real? So today, we are taking notes, Zulu. My mental pen and note is ready.
I tell you.
Yes.
And I want to help brothers because because women are better at acting.
We had started this one powerfully. I was ready. It doesn't help that is also a career of mine. It's okay.
And I saw you in one place acting. They don't care. That side chick who's waiting for the main.
Yes.
To be told.
Yeah, just remove this old woman of yours and come back. Tell that old woman who I am.
And the ability to wear that energy was enviable. Because me too, I tried acting. But I did not understand that you should switch energies like a costume.
Yes.
And feel it. So I asked them, is there a role that looks exactly like my personality so that I don't act, I just be myself? Well, the name of this career is acting. So if you're not asking to act, get out.
Stage left.
So, because women are better at giving us what we want to see, we are arriving at the dating market disadvantaged. But we don't admit it. We don't admit it.
It's actually very sad.
You know,
yes.
I realized my bad position a little bit later after I had arrived at the market.
Yes.
One time there was a function in my home and me and my older brother were sent to go and buy the cow to be slaughtered. And the preference was a younger cow that had not calved, soft. Not too, just big enough. So that was the preference. Okay. So we decided our parameters, what we shall look for, and we decided, and it should be about 2-3 years, and it should look. And then we went to the market. And we have our money, it was 24,000, remember? Budget was lean, but with this, we know we can bargain our way out. Yeah. So, and we are determined, and we don't talk with these brokers on the road. These brokers don't meet you before you arrive.
No.
The market of life is also like that. Before you arrive, every man can tell you about a broker he met before he arrived at the market, who was willing to transact with apparently better terms.
Yes.
This was a hook with brokers. And they discourage you how badly the market is.
Yes.
I'm trying to save you the trouble.
Yeah.
Just sell it time and so sometimes you meet that girl before you reach there who can spare you the hassle of the real market. And if you just sign up now, and many men have settled for brokerage. So we are determined and we said no to brokers and we arrived at the market. With our money and we're not talking, we're just looking. Okay. We know what we want. And we are resisting our advances and we are carrying our rope. You know, you come with a rope. Culturally, they don't sell the cow with the rope they brought. That is a bad omen, like you're selling everything. The woodshed. So you buy your rope, I go home with mine. That's a practice there.
Okay.
So not only economic work is good, you could have simply just added the money for the rope.
Yeah.
But it's not right to sell the animal with a rope. Return the rope so that you can go and keep other cows. Okay. This one. So we are carrying, when you buy, they usually know the buyer because you're carrying a rope. A new rope. And the sellers of ropes around the accessories. It's a one market. And the market for animals is usually outside the main market.
Yes. Okay.
Life is like that as well. Market for things that change life, things that have life, is not usually in the hustle and bustle of the city life. It's outside. It follows different rules. Okay. It requires you to decide whether you want to go there. You can't buy animals of livestock unless you are particularly interested, because they don't bring them to where you can do window shopping. By the dynamics of the market itself, because of health, public health, usually it's because of practical reasons, they detach the market of livestock outside there for safety. But in reality, when you finally look at the figuratively of what we are doing there, life has that kind of sense that while you are in there in the market, supermarket, you might get a view of animals that are passed around. But if you want to know where they're being transacted, you get outside the real market. In this life, you'll be around people, you'll be around kind of people you could have married, potential love, potential partners, as you do your life. But the time you want to transact that kind of business, you must energetically yourself go to that place to give yourself options. If you are this careless, you just settle because you like this one. Later on, you regret, and I really toured. Did I tell you the psychology of regret, buyer's remorse? Sometimes when you buy something, when it was that only seller you encountered, you may later regret wondering whether that was the best option there was.
True.
Even if in reality you got a good deal.
Yes.
But because you did not take yourself through the process of exploration and conclusion. Explore, consider the way, and then settle on.
Yes.
If you had gone to the market, the real thing is you have seen a guy who's selling a good camera, a good stand, a good dress. Tell them I've taken notice and thank you so much for the invite. But I'll be back. We usually use that word to say, let me look around.
Yes, that is true.
If you go around and you know that guy, that was a better deal.
Yes.
You'll buy it now with satisfaction, knowing this was the best. But if you jump and buy, you keep asking other people, where did you buy that one? How much was what about this one?
Yes.
You remain with the doubts.
Yes.
That is the problem of dating people, because you happened to be close together and you had not gone to the market. You may get buyer's remorse wondering, was this the best? Brothers, I told them, if you get that girl when she's in the university, you have picked her before she could see the market of men. And she'll get a buyer's remorse later, saying you took advantage of me. You interrupt. She will not use that word, but she will feel the urge to explore. I was never given the freedom to try, to choose. And the moment another guy will make her feel anything, even if he's a player, I told you players have an advantage against the compost boys. They specialize on romance and flirting, so they know which, and they have all the time on earth, and they know which string to pull, and they know which energy, and they know how to switch on and off to make you chase. You need to marry a girl who is done with the market, so that she will understand the games of players. Some of those men, my wife told me something I did not know. They don't always say anything. They just do things that look gentlemanly.
Yes.
And in the circumstances, it was politeness.
It was.
Without saying anything. And they'll make you fall in love, my friend. They'll help with the car and go. They don't stay there to place any demands.
No.
Imagine.
No.
You show up to put pressure on your car. They show up quickly, and they even asking sorted. Did you say, Madam, have you been sorted? You wonder why the kindness, why the attention? He is the general manager of the truth station. He does not have. So thank you. We've seen you again. And how is it? In fact, today, because you're a regular customer, do it at discount. Don't. And he gives orders.
Yes.
Your car is cleaned for free. And he keeps his distance. Good day.
That is tormenting.
It hangs on you.
It does.
And nothing you can complain about.
No.
These other guys who throw words and calling you sweet, you can block, bash.
Yeah. Why are you calling me
report to your husband.
Yes. Look at this one.
There are others who don't use that approach. And I never knew that there are people who live like that. They have all the time on earth to throw ambiguous acts of kindness.
They know what they're doing.
They actually give you expert advice.
Yes.
That is very needed. The way your car is running, just accelerate a little bit. When lastly did you check? Did you check? Okay. Do you have 10 minutes? This one.
I have got no idea what just happened, but my bonnet
confirms.
is open.
Yeah, the bush here is finished. Madam, this one is called bush. It's usually for connector. It usually runs out. It's not a big risk, but you need to change it soon. So when you pass by a garage, ask them to change this. Yeah, I was asking, he saves you trouble and asks for nothing in return.
Hey.
Just a nice guy.
Now you want to do something bad.
Now you get it.
Now you're just like, what do they need?
So, if one of the time finds you free and there's a chat that starts, you are not likely to resist a chat with that kind of person.
How?
So, she was telling me that there are some things that some people are harder to resist. And they can steal their way into your emotional life. And they usually don't chase or anything. They don't require you to come every day. They don't beg you if you don't show up this week. But when they see you, they're happy. Oh, thank you. And is the week doing okay? Gentlemen, keep that distance and goodbye. They treat you the way you wish. They know how women wish to be treated. Made to feel special without being forced or claustrophobic or pressured.
Lord.
And yet she's given a feeling of, we're happy to see you. Thank you so much. And they don't say it, they behave it.
Yes.
Your car is washed with more detail. All the boys attend your car. Usually one boy, one car. But this time, Mikali's car, 5 boys. And don't bother asking her to come and move it herself and wipe her shoes. And they say, they add touches. You're wondering, have I paid for all these? Because you know how much you've paid.
Yes.
And how much attention.
Yeah.
And even your husband doesn't suspect anything because there's technically nothing.
There's actually nothing.
No foreplay.
There's nothing.
And you get addicted to this quality of service because elsewhere they are annoying. They don't treat you like you're anything. Other car washes treat you like generic manner.
They don't, even that sound in my engine, I cannot hear it.
You know, this guy, they saving me from trouble. You know, that the pressure of that car when you pass by there, you can ask them to balance how much pressure be. Oh, pressure is the number of use on the machine. So those kind of cars that 5. Just ask them. Do you have 4 minutes? Put this on that 5. You feel sorted, taken care of, and they ask for nothing.
Yeah.
You're just a happy customer. On paper, you're just
happy customer.
You know?
Yeah.
So you keep coming back. Coming back.
Oh, God.
And suddenly you realize on the day you don't find that guy, you feel a little bit sad.
Yeah.
Because you're 100 in a generic sense by the others. And somebody who checks your details for you, whether all the mats have been returned.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. The valves.
Sometimes you're not even talking to them. You're on your phone. You're doing your things. But you notice they still check the details and...
Yeah.
Let me tell you, some people don't enter your life in a direct way that you can resist. And I was telling my fellow men, those who... we are learning romance. That is not just poetry. Some boys never use poetry.
Yeah.
They use the poetry of words. They make the girl feel elevated without saying it.
Yes.
Special. And I told them, we have to up our game. We don't compete with them because that's all they do. And a thief will pay more attention to the guy he wants to steal than even the owner of the car. And so these ones are thieves trying to steal. So we may not stay there obsessed.
Yes.
But there are some things we can borrow. That those random acts that don't expect reciprocity, they hang in our heads for so long.
Yeah.
Do the random acts. And I told guys, because we have also, that game has been played on us a lot. In those places we seek help. They notice you're a composed person and they decide to treat you special by their own volition, on their own decision. Decide that when you show up, they bring you the newspaper. It is taken from whoever edit. Yo, bring that. What are you reading? Or the moment you arrive at the cafe, the manager comes to serve you in person. That's a gesture.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And they take your orders in person.
Yes.
And they supervise how you are treated. Those things, they may be non-verbal, but they're very effective.
Yeah.
I want to tell brothers some rules. Because women can portray and act in a way we want without saying it. And you struggle to say what they are thinking. You struggle to decode it. Brothers, 3 rules and they will save us. Because many men have married a woman and then she said, I had one girl telling her girlfriends, she's waiting for the wedding to unleash her true colors. I was dropped by bad luck. They did not intend for me to hear. I was in a barber shop across and there was loud music. Then accidentally the music paused.
Oh God. Oh.
Either power or something interrupted the radio. Those barber shops where there's a hair and the divider is just less than so you can hear across, but you can see. I don't know who it was, but it was a banter. And she's being prepared for the wedding. And these girls know this. You're not the kind of person who should be marrying who you're marrying.
Yeah.
How did you get that guy? And then we have been looking for all kind of people. Did you stop?
Oh my God.
They say stop what? Just give them what they want to see, you know. But after wedding, you can be yourself now.
Oh, poor
and they
guy.
said, poor guy, he has been boxed again. Men are being boxed every day. So I want to give them the rules. The first rule is, we have been taught that those girls who ask for money directly, they are money minded and they want to pay for their salon. And so the game has gone up.
Oh.
The women want people like us no longer target our money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In fact, they learned that the virtuous girls are contented.
Yes.
As a man, they know you're looking for a woman who is composed. They have studied what you're looking for. In fact, you give her money and she says she's not inconvenient yourself giving me money. Of course, these are kind of things I can handle. When you learn of her needs, you give her money and she will say it's not, she even return it. These women come to mimic virtuous girls. And on the surface, they pick all the observable traits. They'll dress how you expect. If you're a country boy like me, they know what country boy wants. And the one thing I noticed is that they have stopped being the direct money askers. Okay, this gold digger thing has been played on video. So it's common. It's in the mind of most men. You know, except a guy is being carried away by the sexual flair and all that. You can see a woman is materialistic. That is quite no-brainer, except if you have decided to switch off your brain for a moment. Some men want to go on a holiday of emotions, so they retire their brain for a while.
Okay.
So it does not interrupt the escapade. So they say with money you can get a woman. They know when they say any woman, they know who they're talking about. The materialistic. And back then, prostitutes were in brothels and particular streets. Nowadays, it's random people walking on the street.
That is true.
Guys who are playing the gold digger traps are not going to any special club. They are not going to special places that would expect. They are picking on random ladies. Yes. Especially the young and naive. They are careful. They know. Some of people have matured. They know what they want. And they can read you. So they are picking on the younger guys. Especially the university group is their favorite. Because they're impatient with life and they want the good life. They were ready to give away their body to get the good life. So she will be talking about, let's go to Kempinski, let's go to some 5-star facilities. She always wanted a person to take her. She has no patience and plan of growing herself there, but she thinks by giving her body, and the guy is saying, yeah, me, I'm available. So she can do anything. So, and she'll stop her plans. Be careful with a person who can stop her plans to be with you. It means she had nothing doing. Her life is empty. Remember the danger of dating empty people. You become everything. Yes. And they swallow you because now you are the totality of all that is going on in their life. You are all they're thinking about, holding their phone, chatting, waiting, complaining, thinking, why you didn't call, why they get people who have a life going on,
Yeah.
So that they give you space to also do life.
Yeah.
They told brothers, you have a colleague there working and who are also single and they are marriageable, but because of your ego and weakness, you are chatting a student who's second year. Sweetie, how's your morning? Me was good. I was waiting for your call. An idle student somewhere enjoy emotional roller coaster with you when the people who are ready for marriage are just next to you, and you go away to a girl who's riding on feelings and the easy life and the money and the handouts you are giving her and the fatherly guidance and mentorship. Some of these girls are just looking for a fatherly mentorship. And now you go there thinking that's her wife. And when she rebels later, like teenagers always rebel against their fathers, now you start wondering, my wife? And I always ask men this question, because man, you are illogical. Let's talk. Please, let's get away this nonsense of pretense. How do you date a 20-year-old? I always ask them. You have sisters, for example. Would you say a 20-year-old can make decision about marriage and men and sex? Say, anyway. But he fell for the theory that get a young girl and mold her. You don't mold human beings.
No, you don't.
This thing of seeing women from the animal husbandry's perspective. There are men who approach women from that aspect that you can make her what you want. Women are human beings who have self-determining instincts. And by the very fact that you want to shape her, will already initiate rebellion.
That's true.
There are some things you do to prove you can't be controlled. You had no plan of doing them. But when you started repeating every time that I should not do it, I needed to pass a point. Men, can we stop seeing women and people as people we can shape? So number one, we are saying, because they will mimic not wanting to take your money.
Yes.
Because they'll mimic waiting for you, not disturbing you when you're at work. Some even target married men because you've already been polished and cooked and you have a proven track record that you can take care of a person.
That's true.
They are suspicious of single men because they're not sure whether he's even straight, can he even respond, is even proven. How come nobody wants you? So they have reached a point. Some of them have forgotten about marriage. They just want that thing of having a man.
Yeah.
And they also have a sadistic desire to snatch what another woman has. Please, don't be enrolled for the battle of women.
Yeah.
And you are the prize being fought over. You end up dying first. That's why polygamous men always die ahead of both women. Because there's a fight and he's the prize. And if I can't have him, nobody should have him. Remind men, no woman who has a good heart will come to destroy another woman's home to build her home. She will tell you, the fact that you're still together, I respect my colleague woman. And the energy of the universe will not allow me to be happy with you when I made another woman sad by taking them. If you are divorced or visionary and you're not together now, we can talk because you're single, but you're not single. You can say, we stay together, but we sleep in different beds. The fact that you're still in the structure of marriage together, I can't come there to verify at night who is sleeping on which bed. Some of the things you're telling me are ridiculous. Why do people believe them anyway? We no longer get intimate, or we stopped our relations long years ago, and then you hear that in maternity.
Yes, that's the thing. It's just ridiculous.
Why do you believe funny things? This person should be decisive. If it's no longer working and you're still together, it tells me you're very indecisive. You do the same with me. You tell another person the same about me. Maybe you're just having no more differences. The fact that you're still together means you have not decided to move on and start another chapter of your life. So and you as a woman, I told you to respect the institution of marriage. Naturally, irrespective of who is married. Whenever we talk about marriage, personally, I have high respect for it. As a person, I would rather not discuss a partner. I don't want to be discussed by my partner. I can't do to other people what I don't want to be done to me.
Yeah.
I'm believing God to give me a marriage, and I can't insult marriage when I'm asking for it.
Absolutely.
There's another entity that is controlling these things. And I want to be in good terms.
Yeah.
And for that reason, avoid this texting. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Let's be professional. And if you can't, sorry, I will have to stop chatting with you. Yeah. For men, raise the bar and look, not now at how she's behaving towards you, but how she behaves generally in her life. There's one thing women can't fake, with all their faking prowess.
Please. Sure you want to. What is it?
With all their ability to play with our psychology, I found out one weakness in their armor. So, brothers, you always go behind and check her real life. When you are not in the picture, when she's not with you, find a way of seeing how she lives when you're out of the picture. That is the truth. And one simple way is the reputation she has in her circles. I don't know why men ignore that, saying, I don't want anybody to badmouth. Not everybody is interested in badmouthing the girl you're dating. Where are we so, I don't know,
They're actually telling you the truth.
What you are saying, trash talking, is the truth. Why are men like that? We suspect everybody is trying to tell you what you don't want to hear. Mikali, it mattered to me, quietly, to make sure the girl I marry is regarded highly in our circles. Without that, I wouldn't proceed. Wow. It was my condition. You don't have to go conducting opinion polls. You're wise. What do you think about this guy I'm trying to date? What do you think? Don't be stupid and so direct. But once people learn you are the one, they'll comment. Yes. When people see you together, they'll comment.
Yes.
Among her friends, word will go around. If people start pitying you, changing body language to funny, looking for safe topics when you're around.
Yes.
The body language when you ambush one of our friends unawares, and they see both of you, and they can see the energy is love-like, it's romantic. Those few moments when people make attempts to tell you things, I'm not saying you believe everything blindly.
Yes.
But the moment you try to date somebody who's off, people will pity you and they'll try to save you. Brothers, stop being fixated on how you're chatting with her and the energy. And we were doing a show one time, and Miriam Omigomba, one of the ladies, she illustrated how she can change her energy. Mm-hmm. I loved the illustration. Mm-hmm. She said, here at work with Benjamin and Rashid, I can just we are just talking about this. But if the guy I want calls,
yes,
and she illustrated, hey, oh my God, I was just waiting for your call.
The voice, everything.
It shifted like this. Yes. I said, huh? Mm-hmm. Would the brother suspect?
No. How?
I said, we are finished. I'll never use this form of judgment to make my decision. So I started looking for alternatives. And brothers, the only key is to try and find a peek preview. Find a glimpse of her normal life. For me, I just wanted 3 things. 1, how she has contributed to her siblings. Remember, I'm not marrying a child. By the time I'm marrying, you are at least 25.
Yes.
How have you contributed in your family's growth? Which efforts have you put to improve your siblings, your parents' life? If you are development-minded, it will show at home. There's a tree you planted, there's a house you planted, there's a cow, there's something you contributed in your family. It looks simple, but it works. She would mention casually, I'm the one who planted those trees. She does know those are my marking points.
Oh.
And I would find out she was carrying a chore at home. Some women don't clean. They're very dirty, and you marry them and staying with them in the same house is impossible. Oh my God. And brothers keep coming to me asking something I can't answer. Oh my God. I just pity. Brother, sorry. But I'm sorry. Yeah. If you go to the top doctor and he just shakes his head, your case is not very good.
Yes.
If there's one weakness which is very hard to prove, but very hard to ignore, it's a messy woman. Kelly, it's just impossible. It destroys the taste, the flavor. You don't want to be with that woman in the same space.
Yes.
A guy will tell me when I enter the gate, masufuria huku, a child will poo here, the other one there. You find the chips and remains of food all the way to bedroom. Oh, the washroom has not been washed or flushed, and you have to. The kitchen is full of houseflies. Which age are we dealing with houseflies, brother? And she's clean when she's going out, but the moment we enter, all her dirty clothes were just left there. She changed and became a makeup and out there, but going back in her backyard, brother.
Yes.
They said, didn't you check that? Did you check that in your marriage? No. How could I have seen it? She had a home that time. Probably the house she stays and her own home. Mm-hmm. You should hear a reputation of her having standards. Women who don't have standards for cleanliness are not ready for marriage. Don't marry them. You should marry them at your own risk. And the other thing with brother, we said, though, check her life when she's not trying to impress you. You see the truth. That's what you will have to live with. Very soon after you marry, after a while, you revert to that. If you can't endure that, her colleague teaches how they talk. We have enemies and envious. You too have enemies, but is everybody an enemy?
No.
Thank you very much. So why are you believing everybody is her enemy? What kind of human being are you marrying if everybody
is her enemy? They don't wish her well.
check her circles, check the comments from pastor, from church and all that. You don't go conducting opinion polls, but if you hang around and the comments she gives about people and what the energy, when you walk around, when you show up in her events, how I noticed she was a leader in a group, she had this been saving, and they would say she has been the treasurer for 5 years now, we have never lost a coin, tick. I would hear things like, she's the one who was at home today, she cleaned, cooked, I say, tick. Because some are left home, the mother has to compensate for everything. Yes. And I told brothers on a low key, when you marry the other daughter, other than the firstborn, do a more keen check, because some hide behind the firstborn and they don't learn tasks.
Oh yeah.
And they just there avoid cleaning, cooking, doing the chores at home. And because the first daughter is so much responsible and she was taught when she was alone before others grew, it's default by her. For her, the day you take this, third, fourth girl out here. But the positions are not fixated. We're just saying the situation at home. And I notice a very common escapism with the girls behind the first one. Yeah. Observe with a microscope now. So the last point with men, and I like it when the conversation occupies men only.
Yes, clearly today.
The third thing with men is that sometimes, we are not saying women are bipolar, but they have two possible personalities that can exist entirely. And you hear people describing the woman you call your wife, and you are amazed whether they're talking about your person. One of the problems we have with men is that we depend so much on what we feel and the energy she arouses in us. Okay. And women have mastered to play that card. Okay. The way to see her both personalities is to see her in action in different contexts. So don't just be meeting for dates and doing video calls and exchanging photos and chatting online and talking sweet nothings for 8 hours until 2 a.m. That is a lot of romantic fire and fever, and you work up things that obsess you. Yes. This is related to the first, but it is targeting on how does she behave at work. Is she a reliable worker? Check at church, is she active? Yeah. Some people talk Christianese. Most girls today have been to Christian environment and they can say amen and they can quote a few verses. Anybody can do that. She can even remember what you encouraged her spiritually last time. And when she was praying, actually, it came to mind.
Christianese. You left me at that. I was just like, what?
You know, don't be so flattered by the interactions between the two of you. Rather, check her track record in these three areas. One, in wifely duties and capabilities, like that is mentorship. Mentorship is what becomes mothering later. Okay. Some women can get children, but not all women can raise children. Yes. If you want to a mother of your children, make sure she has raised someone, not literally, but you can see contribution of growth. Yes. And the other thing is work. Some women just can't work. They will leave home, stay. She will marry and she stays there. She destroys the business. She squanders everything. Oh. How did you expect her to build a business and you denied the chance? You denied yourself the chance to check whether she can build anything, whether she's patient enough to sit, whether she can sit with money and sleep. Some people can't sleep until they're bankrupt. You give them money, they have to eat all of it before they can stabilize again. They are no more is bankrupt. No more is broke. If you try to put money. Yes. So check her track record at work and check her track record spiritually. When you don't have a woman praying for you, you die in the battles of life. Remember this. Let me remind you this, and I will end with this with men. Yes. Many men don't care about God. They clean up and go to church to look for a wife. Let me warn you. Better learn God for yourself so that you can tell sincere spirituality. Absolutely. From fakeness. Because brothers marry fake Christians because they themselves are also faking to get a Christian. Okay. You played on your own game. It's no longer us who are controlling the game, brothers. Just be sincere. Stay with God until He can give you peace and make your paths cross. Illuminate more light on one. Yeah. And you come. I could never have found my girl if I was depending on myself. Yeah. We did not have geographical closeness. We did not have anywhere we were meeting. I was depending on God, and He guided our paths crossed, and I could tell the peace. And then the same God will convince her to have peace about you, because the woman you'll need and whom you put up, your life will be at her mercies the moment you pose the question. Yeah. Would you agree to be my woman to do life with me? Yes. That question is usually traumatizing because her answer will dictate your future. At that point, she has your life in her hands and she's toying with it. What do we do with this? So at that time, you need the help of God for her to accept you as well. Absolutely. Because she has so much value. You can't find it every day. And she should see your value to want to merge with you. Yes.
Brav. Bros. Today's session was yours. Zulu, on live camera, everything, please promise us that you will be telling us things next. We have a part 2. We feel neglected. We feel exposed. Us and our acting.
Are you talking for ladies or for men?
So I am Mimi. I'm here saying that we need to know their secrets as well.
Okay, all right. When the men's committee meets, we will deliberate on that question.
But I hope you've taken notes. And I think it's important that we focused on the men today. You brought
Exactly.
up some very, even I had not thought about them that way. But when you say we know how to play the game, and we know how to, be nice, be presentable, and that the man should look beyond what we present. However you guys do that, CSI, NSIS, FBI, you need to do it for you to find out exactly who it is that you want to commit your life to. This was a very informative conversation, and I hope, bros, you've taken notes. Yeah? Ladies, keep it here, because we will be giving you a part 2 to this. Thank you so much. That is all we had for you today. Adios.